the mists of ancient Britain, somewhere between myth and history, lies one of Rome's most enduring mysteries. 5,000 men, an entire Roman legion, marched north into the wilderness of Caledonia around 108 CE and simply vanished from the pages of history. No battle records, no monuments, no trace. The Legio IX Hispana, one of Rome's oldest and most distinguished military units, disappeared as if swallowed by the earth itself. The Ninth Legion wasn't just any military unit. Founded by Julius Caesar himself around 65 BCE, the Hispana had carved its name into Roman legend. These were the soldiers who fought in Gaul, who crossed the Rubicon with Caesar, who helped forge an empire. Their standards bore the symbols of their victories, their shields the scars of 100 battles. By the time they arrived in Britain in 43 CE, they were veterans of campaigns across 3 continents. They had survived civil wars, conquered Germania, and put down rebellions in the scorching deserts of Judea. Britain would be just another province to pacify, or so they thought. The island proved more challenging than expected. In 60 CE, Queen Boudicca of the Iceni tribe rose in rebellion, her forces burning Londinium to the ground. The Ninth Legion marched south to intercept her, confident in their superiority. What followed was a massacre. Boudicca's warriors ambushed them in the dense British forests, killing thousands. The legion survived, but barely, limping back to their fortress at York, with their numbers decimated and their pride shattered. By 108 CE, the Ninth Legion had rebuilt itself. Their fortress at Eboracum, modern York, was a testament to Roman engineering. Massive stone walls, heated bathhouses, workshops producing weapons and armor. 5,000 men called it home. They had spent decades pacifying northern Britain, pushing the frontier ever northward into the land of the Picts and Caledonians. Then came the order that would seal their fate. Historical records from this period are frustratingly sparse, but what we know suggests that unrest was brewing beyond Hadrian's Wall. The tribes were restless, raids were increasing, and Rome needed to make a show of force. The Ninth Legion, stationed closest to the frontier, was the obvious choice. Imagine that morning as the legion assembled. The clatter of armor, the rhythmic march of hobnailed sandals on stone, the flutter of the legion's eagle standard in the British wind. Officers barking orders, supply wagons creaking under the weight of provisions for a campaign expected to last months. Trumpets sounding the advance. 5,000 men marching north through the morning mist, disappearing into the Caledonian wilderness. They never came back. This is where history falls silent. No ancient historian records their destruction. No triumphal arch celebrates their victory. No monument mourns their loss. It's as if the entire legion simply ceased to exist. In the decades that followed, something strange happened in Roman military records. The Ninth Legion stopped appearing in the lists of active units. New legions were raised, numbered and named, but the prestigious number 9 was never reused, a significant detail, as Romans typically reassigned numbers from destroyed legions. It was as though Rome wanted to forget the Ninth ever existed. By 165 CE, when an inventory of Roman forces was compiled, the Ninth Legion was conspicuously absent. No explanation was given. No official announcement of its disbandment appeared in any surviving document. The mightiest military machine in the ancient world had lost an entire legion, and no one was talking about it. For centuries, historians have attempted to solve this mystery, each theory as tantalizing as it is unprovable. The most dramatic explanation suggests the legion was wiped out in a catastrophic ambush by Caledonian tribes. The Highland warriors, masters of guerrilla warfare in their mountainous homeland, could have lured the legion into an indefensible position and destroyed them completely. Rome, humiliated by such a devastating loss, might have chosen to bury the incident in administrative silence, rather than admit that 5,000 of their best soldiers had been butchered by barbarians. A less sensational, but perhaps more plausible explanation suggests the legion was slowly bled dry through casualties in numerous small engagements. Ambushes, raids, disease, and attrition could have reduced their numbers until they were no longer combat effective. The survivors might have been absorbed into other units. The legion quietly disbanded without ceremony. Archaeological evidence from the 1960s threw an unexpected twist into the mystery. Roof tiles stamped with the 9th Legion's mark were discovered at Nijmegen in the Netherlands, dated to around 120 CE, more than a decade after their supposed disappearance in Britain. Further evidence suggested the Legion, or elements of it, may have been transferred east to fight in Armenia or Judea, where they could have been destroyed in conflicts that Roman historians chose not to emphasize. Perhaps most intriguingly, some historians believe the Legion's fate was deliberately obscured because of the political circumstances of its destruction. If they had been wiped out during a period when the Empire couldn't afford to show weakness, or if their loss revealed a strategic vulnerability, Rome's propagandists might have simply erased them from the official narrative. Modern archaeology has added tantalizing clues to the puzzle without solving it definitively. In the 1920s, excavations at the Legion's York fortress revealed that it was demolished and abandoned sometime in the early 2nd century, consistent with the Legion's disappearance. But was this a sign of military disaster or routine reorganization? Gravestones of 9th Legion soldiers have been found scattered across Britain and continental Europe, but none date from after the early 120 CE. The archaeological record simply goes cold. In 2015, researchers analyzing lead ingots from Roman Britain found that production in Yorkshire, where the 9th Legion was stationed, dropped dramatically around 108 CE and never recovered. Was this because the Legion that supervised these mining operations had vanished? Most provocatively, no mass grave has ever been found. 5,000 men don't disappear without leaving bones behind, unless those bones lie undiscovered in some remote highland valley, or were scattered across such a wide area that no single battlefield can be identified. Nearly 2,000 years later, the fate of the 9th Legion remains one of history's most captivating enigmas. It represents something profoundly unsettling, the vulnerability of even the mightiest empires, the ease with which history can forget, the shadows that lie just beyond the edge of the known world. Perhaps the truth is less dramatic than we imagine. Perhaps the Legion was simply transferred, reorganized, and its records lost in the bureaucratic chaos of a crumbling empire. Perhaps they died not in one glorious last stand, but through the grinding attrition of garrison duty in a hostile land. Or perhaps, somewhere in the Scottish Highlands, beneath the heather and the mist, lie the remains of 5,000 Roman soldiers who marched north into legend and never returned. The eagle standard they carried, symbol of Rome's eternal power, buried in the mud beside them, a silent testament to the mystery of the vanished Legion. But what if they deserted? Archaeologists still find traces. Roman weapons buried in German forests where no campaign was ever recorded. A villa in Gaul built in precise legionary formation. Graves of men with Latin names far from any Roman outpost. Perhaps these are the ghosts of the 9th, living under new identities, passing down their silence as heritage. The Roman historians who might have recorded their fate are silent. The landscape that witnessed their end keeps its secrets, and the Legio IX Hispana remains what it became 2 millennia ago. A ghost legion, marching forever through the fog of the unknown.